Dimir Mill versus Izzet Prowess. We're back with some more modern action, and it's Thursday, and you might be wondering, where's the legacy? What happened to the legacy content? It'll be coming back. Don't worry. We're in this mode right now of the school year started back up, and things have gotten crazy. I had stockpiled a bit of modern content during the summer when I had a little bit more flexibility and free time, and the legacy content is in the works. We're working through it. So let's jump into it, talk about this match, talk about what you expect to see here, because this is already starting out very fast here as the Izzet Prowess player is punching in hard with a Swift Spear and a Mutagenic Growth. So the idea of the deck is it is a very fast-paced deck trying to kind of burst damage down, high damage with one big pierce strategy, like with the Swift Spear, but also have that kind of go wide strategy with Corey Steelcutter and make a lot of monks. On the other side of the table, Dimir Mill is already milling 26 cards on turn 0 for them. The Izzet Prowess players turn 1, and we're seeing big hits getting milled away here. So yeah, look at this. You're already starting to see kind of like the count through and checking through that Prowess player is doing, just sort of making sure everything is confirmed. Also tracking what is available, but we do see, looks like Crab number 1 is here. So if you're interested in a deck that is an alternate win con, right? We say alternate win con because your whole objective is to make your opponent run out of cards in their library and then draw a card. This is where we're seeing, you know, basically a speed match between both these decks. One deck trying to go for an alternate win con with the mill strategy, the other deck trying to burst you down with as much power as quickly as possible through some spell slinging action, especially with this otter coming out here. We are seeing that as a scary potential. But land enters with the second crab. That means we'll see 6 cards milled, and with being a fetch lands means 6 more cards can get milled. But we see a Mutagenic Growth available. Okay, I like this. Start off with a Preordained just in case. Prowess trigger. Ooh. Yeah, we'll put both those on the bottom. We had the option to like bounce the enchantment here, the saga, but we're not going to be going that route. Currently, no blocks. We've got Mutagenic Growth going to be targeting. That looks like we'll get a response, though, from our mill player, as they will be fetching for a land and causing another landfall trigger. Ooh, but finding a swamp. So there are some variations with mill right now in Modern. You can go kind of a mono blue version if you want. I've been seeing some lists try out that Exhibition Tide Caller. We keep talking about it, but Fatal Push going to get used. Clear up the targeted creature there. Swift Spear gone, and then 3 damage going across, but you know, life total is getting pretty close and pretty even, but the Prowess player's life total is, it doesn't matter, right? Their goal is to just, you know, get your opponent to 0. There's 6 getting milled away quickly, and the count is getting lower and lower. We can return the land and try to utilize that as a way to get past and hopefully try to end things here, but there are some lava darts in the graveyard. But 2 toughness is, you know, not anything to kind of scoff at here. So we will throw a blocker here. Dart that crab. Response, another wizard battle, fatal push. And let's clean up one of the crabs. Return this land to the hand. Because you can tap it for mana and return itself, right? Buckleberry Fairy, a.k.a. Oberori. All right, land go. And let's return it to our hand. Doesn't matter? No. Please, mill. Bastard after that. Game 1, going quick. Very, like that double archive trap really cinched up that first game there. But now we're going to go into sideboard and see what sort of tools these players will have at their disposal. We've seen players bring in more cards.
To let you know about our new affiliate with Nerd Gear. nerdgear.gg/nanman will take you directly to the website, and as you can see, they've got a bunch of awesome gaming accessories from playmats, life counters with the life tracks, playmat holders, and more. So make sure you do some browsing on the site, find some goodies, and then use the code NGNanman for 5% off your entire order. But let's get back to our gameplay.
Yeah, like I said, there have been players that go, well, I'm playing against Mill. I'll bring in 5 extra cards and take nothing out. And I'll run like a 65 card deck. Or some players, will do the crazy thing. Go, I'm running 75 cards. Let's go. And really make it hard on you. I don't recommend doing that. Every so often you'll see some really big brain players. I say big brain, really just trolley players that go, I'm going to run the one of Emrakul in my sideboard for the Mill matchup. Like if you're playing at locals, like we're seeing here, this is from our LGS. There is that element of going, I need to craft and curate my sideboard for what I'm playing against. It's very important because it's different if you're going, I'm going to a big tournament and I go, okay, here are the, 8 best decks in the format right now. I need at least something that will help me interact with those decks. Where at the local shop, you go, well, there are 8 to 20 players that are playing weekly. Let's make sure that I have the best cards to play against those decks. All right, we see another Archive Trap. We see the Dragon Rage. We see an Unholy Heat. Our Izzet Prowess player clearing the way here, even though they took some damage, and throwing a Lava Dart, looks like, into the graveyard. Nice seeing a lot of these, like, Secret Lair and cool. I always love seeing how players kind of curate their deck, the styling that they do with the cards that they choose to include in it, and the art style. We do a look through here. Oh, the Murktides came in from the board. That's really good. If you can land a Murktide and just sort of run away with things and be like, all right, now you have a 2-turn clock, like, very scary. But how will the Mill player respond to this? Land, makes sense, and just pass. But yeah, as I was saying earlier in game 1, there is that element of some players have gone for just the mono blue Mill because of the exhibitionists, and you can kind of utilize some other stuff. I still like the Dimir Mill. I like having access to Fatal Pushes and other cards like that to help out, but it's really at this point in time a preference thing. You can kind of pick and choose how you want to go about things. And Modern is so diverse and right now that it really is one of the healthiest it's been in a while. But we see preordained setups just pushing for 3 damage here and there. Where will we be able to go from here for both players? The navigation set is we need a little bit more burst damage for the Prowess player, right? Right now we have a consistent guaranteed 3 damage, but that's about it. We don't have a Corey Steel Cutter. We don't have a Swift Spear, things like that to help push that extra bit of damage. There is no Slick Shots really in this list. Basically, if you're running the Flood enchantment, whatever, somebody help me with the name of it. Right there, Valley Flood Caller, is that what it's called? Something, the enchantment that makes the otters. And you run that, and you're running the Boomerang Basics to bounce it. That package basically takes the slot of the Slick Shot Show Off stuff. Slick Shot Show Off is a little bit more burst, where this is a little bit more, it's got a little bit more strength and backbone to it. Drown the Lock going to come out here. Again, that's the Dimir stuff. We can destroy this creature, counter a spell. So much flexibility and versatility here. And, I forgot that there was one of the sign lands in the Mill deck here. That's definitely how I like to set up my decks of how to spice them up and make them really cool. Going to be, of course, going to Commander Sealed coming up in the fall. We'll be hunting some more signatures, playing in the event. You'll check me out on stream. I'll be trying to hang out. Also, there's a cool auction going on, so we'll post up a little bit about that to check out. But, extirpate here with the split second. So you can't really interact. We're going to choose a card, strip it away. Now, oftentimes players will pick a really powerful card to go with, but this time around, this is one of those, we're going to pick a land. We're going to grab Steam Vent. We see no Steam Vents here. Now, choosing a land, this is also a way to count and confirm what is left in the deck and see, okay, how many lands there are, because we have a specific finisher known as Mind Funeral that we use in the Dimir Mill list. It's an old school card. Not many lists run it anymore since it costs 3 mana. You want to be very fast and efficient, but it's so good if you're like mill until you get 4 lands. But there's the Dragon Rage Chandler coming down here. Again, we need that threat out to put the pressure. The clock is ticking for how many cards we've got left in the deck. And so we're in this like pressure being put on us at this moment in time. Crab's here. Got a fetch land to go with it. No. Lose 2 for Watery Grave. Mill 3. Oh, Core Steel Cutter got hit there. That would have been great to have gotten. There's the Mind Funeral. Okay, so target opponent reveals cards until they reveal 4 lands. Let's see how many cards get milled here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 cards. That's basically a double archive trap off of one spell there. Mind Funeral milling 26 is crazy. I mean, it is a way to essentially win the game too. If you can get your opponent low enough, it can just close things out. But Unholy Heat clears the path again. Do we have any more burst damage we can do? We didn't have a Corey Steel Cutter out there. Bobble's going to be dropped down. Very cool Secret Lair art. Another Lightning Bolt. Oh, okay. So Mill player was saying dropping to 11. So I missed a point of damage somewhere. It probably was from the fetch. I do so bad about remembering like a fetch here or there or like a lava dart. Like there's so much just like 1 point here. Ooh, Shelldock Isle. This is another one where some players, at one point in time I ran a few more Shelldock Isles and you know had Emrakul back in the day. Now if you want to do a hideaway stuff, there is a deck that does that with green, right? It's the fight rigging deck. Oh, Echoing Truth. So now we're just in the delay mode, right? This is the cool part that comes with the Dimir Mill is you shift game plans from going, okay, I move away from the mill style to now survival style. I'm just trying to delay and stop and keep you in check. While the other side of the matchup, like the Prowess or whoever you're fighting, is like, no, I'm just trying to kind of, you know, walk that razor's edge and sit here and try to teeter on the edge of being defeated with just enough bit of burst damage that I can be able to do. So it's such a cool, intricate matchup in that regard of how you design it. You know, there's a lot of old matchups that are like that in the way that they are played, that it's really cool to kind of be able to showcase them on the channel like this. So yeah, replay the Dragon Rage and pass on over. And then Bobble Trigger will draw for turn. Okay, drop to 9 life. Can we get enough? We have a lot of lands, and essentially each one of those is a lava dart. But push is going to come in here. How many cards we got left? 1 card left in the library. All right, how do we respond here? Oh, you see those just... Yeah, I guess the dart trigger. What do I have left on top? I like that. Yeah, sadly, that'll die. Pass turn. Okay. One card left. Pass turn. Lava Dart number 1. Okay, the life total got fixed here. You know, if you saw it went from 8 to 6, that was just sort of listening to the audio briefly there and go, okay, we're at 6. I mean, the dropping to 2 essentially. There's 4 lava darts in the graveyard here. Is there a lightning bolt? Sack these 3. Ooh, Exile target card in a graveyard. If it's a creature card, gain 3 life. So we go. I would like to pick one of your Swift spears and gain 3 life to get out of potential bolt death there. But there's the handshake, quick shake, a very fast-paced match for you guys to be able to enjoy. But sometimes that's the exciting part of these decks like that are set up where they can just sort of go, super speed, super burst mode like this. You know, the mill deck was like got some really big hits both in game 1 and game 2 by being able to mill 26 cards with the archive traps, with the mind funerals, stuff like that to really kind of close things out. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't worry, there will be more modern action for you to be able to enjoy, as well as some other good videos to check out on the channel. So make sure you're following along, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thanks so much for tuning and watching, and I'll see you all next game.